Hello, guys, and welcome back to the D's Don't Get Degrees podcast.
Hey, y'all. What's up? My name is Dominic.
My name is Jessica.
And we're back again. Here
Episode
we go.
number 5?
Yep, 5. Episode number 5. Here we go. Let's get into it. So, I'm going to start off the usual segment. What have we been up to this week?
Actually, before that, let me cut you off real quick. Big changes.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The big change.
Oh.
I know what you're getting at. Those are things that we've been kind of working. We've been working on them for a while, but they all kind of materialized this week. But if you want to go for it, you go.
That's funny. I was like, I got this, baby boy.
The stage is yours.
All right. We are now on iTunes and Spotify.
Yep. What? All right.
If I could get a sound, like a little sound.
Pew, 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 air horns.
Or like clapping. Just can you clap? Never mind. This is hard. No, it's fine. Just sounds like you're slapping somebody.
I mean, technically, if we were good at editing, we could absolutely add.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, I can add in the sound effects, but then you went with air horns, and I was like, well.
I thought that's what you meant. I thought you meant sound effect air horns, like
not from your mouth, like from the computer, like I mean, an actual clip of a sound effect.
You still can do it. Just lay it over there. It'll be really corny.
I don't really want to, but yeah. We're on iTunes and Spotify, guys. We've made it.
No, we're pretty much celebrities at this point. Official, legit
Suck on
podcasters.
This dick, Joe Rogan.
What?
What other big podcast can you think of? Just Joe Rogan.
It was just surprising that you just I don't know. But you just
I'll fist fight him. Wasn't he like a fighter, like a MMA fighter?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about Joe Rogan.
I'll take it.
Except that he has a podcast.
A pretty big one, but we're basically on all the platforms he's on. So
absolutely, we're pretty official now. You basically, I mean, I'm not trying to humble brag or nothing like that, but basically we're like one step from just being rich at this point. Like it's a done deal. It's a done deal.
I don't think he makes any money.
Oh, we don't either. It's cool.
Yeah, we're literally on the same level. That's a good point. Soon we'll have like famous stars. He had Crystalia on his podcast not long ago. He'll be on ours. Like
it'll be great. Guys. For sure.
Just listen out.
It's great. Leave a comment on YouTube. Who the first celebrity star you want guest hosting on there? Leave a comment.
Kevin Hart and The Rock. They'll be here within like the month. They're out filming.
I was thinking we can get an OG. We can get George Lopez. That'd be funny.
Yeah. Okay.
I was waiting for you to. I haven't actually kept up with George Lopez that much, so I was waiting for you to. I was waiting for you to be like, I don't
He's
know
now problematic.
Yeah,
we don't stand him.
And I was like, I didn't know that.
Dude,
I wouldn't know.
Did you find out Elon Musk is like now
canceled?
Low key canceled, kind of problematic.
I didn't know that.
Oh, he was like one of my favorite like rich white men who made it, who is very active on Twitter. I was into him.
What did he do?
I don't even know.
You just know he's canceled. He's problematic.
No.
Something's bad.
It came out that he is like the number one contributor for like a Republican candidate. I know. I wish that there wasn't such a stigma around Republicans, but there is. You guys suck. I'm sorry. I know we have some listeners that may lean,
a certain type of way. Yeah, for sure.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure he's so nice. He try and help those kids in the cave.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about all that?
Yeah, no, that's pretty rough.
He didn't actually do it. Like he didn't actually get them out.
But he tried. I mean, that's a tough situation. Yeah. Like,
and he's like
nobody's
involving himself with the Flint water thing. So
I mean,
he's doing more than I am.
He sounds like a good dude. Sounds like a good dude, I guess. But
anyways, what a tangent. We are now on iTunes and Spotify. Was the whole point of that?
Yeah. No. So we made it.
iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and we are no longer on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I listened back to our second podcast, or our third one, where we all but sucked SoundCloud's dick.
I remember that one.
My
it
God.
was that's awkward now. It's kind of like it reminds me of, which has happened to me before. It reminds me of being in a relationship that's like seems great for like a week, and then it's like, all right, well, we broke up now. Like you go and tell your friends like, oh, I got this new whatever. I'm seeing this new person. They're like, oh, cool. Like when we gonna meet her? Oh, we broke up already. Like it's that quick, that over. We didn't break up with SoundCloud necessarily, but we had to go our separate ways for the moment.
I mean,
probably
who knows? It's
you never know what's going to happen with other things, right. But it just made more sense for us to take our talents in other directions at the moment.
For us to take our content elsewhere.
I want to pull a LeBron James because that's what he said the first time he left. Like the first time he left his old team, He was like, I'm taking my talents to South Beach to Miami, and everybody was like, what a conceited, like the way he said
I love
it.
That.
No, I love it too.
I'll be taking my talents elsewhere.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I plan on telling my manager when I quit. I'm gonna write that on my resignation letter. Next time I quit a job, I'm like, I'm taking my talents elsewhere too, and I'm just gonna write the name of the new job.
That's nice. Yeah, just a little update for you guys.
Yep, on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, try searching for the name of us. It comes up pretty well on iTunes and Apple Podcasts, but on Spotify, the search feature is a little weird. I've tried searching for it, like with our full name, D's Don't Get Degrees. Sometimes it doesn't all the way come up. Like it's kind of strange. So
I think that just means we need more people to listen to it on there.
Yeah,
maybe that's why it won't.
When it gets bigger, I'm sure it'll come up easier.
Yeah.
But if you're having trouble, it's there. I promise. Like, I was able to pull it up by just
looked up degrees.
Yeah, just do degrees, and it'll be there under podcast or whatever. Or I mean, if you have to, just scroll through all the It's not that many actually. No, okay, it's actually not that many. I sat and I did it one day, and I was like, I wonder how many like total podcasts are on Spotify. It's not like the most. It's not. It's all right.
Okay.
Like,
you don't have to do all that. You can just do like degrees. Or I think it's easier if you're on like a desktop.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Who goes on to Spotify on their desktop?
Yeah, but if you're anyway, just so y'all know though, if you look for it, I don't want y'all to think, man, they lied to us. No, we're there. I promise. It's just maybe a little hard to find us at first, but we're there. Promise. Okay, right. But now that what we actually did in the past week.
Okay, you can take it away now.
Okay, so y'all, it really wasn't even the past week. It was just the past like 2 to 3 days where I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's like time for big life changes, but it's one of those things where
walk away, walk out of it.
No. For once, it's not about my job or school.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Shocker.
Is it about a girl?
No.
Oh.
Nope. No, but yeah, for once, it's nothing like that. So it's one of those moments though, or two of those moments technically, where you it's not a big life change that needs to happen, but you just look at yourself and you're like, man, I can't keep doing this, because it's happened multiple times. I'll just say it. So the first night, it was my friend's birthday. It's cool, and it's so like, I'm gonna tell a story because it's so sad how it happens. I was so pumped for it. I've been looking forward to it like all week or whatever. And we supposed to go to this bar or whatever. It's cool. So we show up to the bar. They're already there. They've been waiting on me for at least like an hour because I got out of work really late. So I show up. It's cool. And in the car, I'm like legit like kind of jamming my music. I'm getting myself hyped, getting pumped. Like, yeah, I'm about to go have fun.
Oh my God. This whole time I was like, what are you going to say? Like, where is this leading? Okay. No, yeah, go ahead. It's a good one.
But yeah. So I'm legit like getting pumped for it, getting ready. And I step out of the car and I close the car door. And I'm like, and I check my pockets, because that's just the thing I always do. I always check my pockets to make sure I got my phone, wallet, keys, no matter what, right?
Right.
I got my phone. I'm like, oh, cool, bet. Text them I'm here. I got my wallet. Oh, cool, I can pay for my drinks. But the keys, though.
Where them keys at?
The keys, though. So I'm like, am I stupid? Did I just drop them on the floor real quick? So I checked all around my car. I'm looking under the car. I'm like, I literally just turned the car off 2 seconds ago. How could I have lost my keys that quick? And then it hit me, and I'm like, no. Yep, I locked them in the car. I locked my keys in the car like within a minute. And it was such a tough like emotional roller coaster, because it was like I was so high up.
Yeah.
And then I just crashed when I realized it, because I thought about how much I did or didn't have in my bank account really, and how much it would cost to call a locksmith out. And it was already kind of like late, like at least approaching 10 o'clock or whatever. And I'm like, this is gonna hit me hard. But I ended up having to get a locksmith. But the funny thing is how it happened though. So I go into the bar. I'm thinking there. I'm like, okay, do I just sit out here and wait for like another hour until they get here? But I'm like, no, it's my friend's birthday. I'm not gonna like take away from like her freaking whatever, because I'm a spoiled child who can't keep up with his keys. So I go inside the bar. I act like everything's normal. Hey, it's cool. Sorry, I'm late. Whatever. It's cool. Within a few minutes, they call. They're like, oh, hey, we're gonna be there, whatever, in like 45 minutes. I'm like, cool. But when they call, I have to step outside again. So picture me showing up like an hour late. I'm there.
You didn't tell them when you got there? Hey, I left my keys in my car.
I was embarrassed. They still don't know why.
Wow.
They still don't know what happened. So
why not just?
I was
so
embarrassed.
Weird.
I was absolutely embarrassed.
What did you say? I'm gonna go grab a smoke. I'm an idiot who still smokes.
They saw my phone ring, and I stepped away. And you wanna know what I said? I was like, "Oh, sorry, it's a business call. I gotta step away." Like, and they looked at me like, "What kind of douchebag
Someone needs an
with?"
impromptu outfit from my store. Let me just answer this.
It
real
was
quick.
ridiculous, but I mean, I was too embarrassed to admit that. So I'd rather look like an entitled like douchebag who has like business calls that he has to take instead of just admitting. So I stepped outside. No, it happened like twice though, because they had to call like at least two times before they finally got here. So they called twice. Before they showed up. Then when they showed up, I had to leave again. So in total, within the first like hour I'm there, after being an hour late, I'm stepping away looking like a D-bag just the whole time.
You
like,
should have just said you were smoking.
That would have been cooler than what I did.
Because then what? I don't understand. Just a bunch of business calls all at once.
I mean, it's not like I was making it up. They saw my phone ring, so it's not like they could be like...
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't believe you. If I was sitting there, I'd be like, okay, dude, what's actually going on?
One of my friends didn't believe me. He was like, so who's this girl that keeps calling you? And I'm like, it's not a girl, though. But
why didn't you just say, yeah, it's a girl? I don't understand. Why was the
I don't know.
Correct? Okay.
It's like, I didn't want to lie, but I also was clearly lying.
I was embarrassed, but I didn't want like anything. I don't understand.
I didn't want to look like a man child who can't keep up with his keys.
Okay.
Even though it's clearly what I am. That's why we're here. That's exactly what happened.
What if one of them had like one of the kits to get into the car?
I thought about that for a second. I was like, what if somebody can actually help me with this?
Yeah.
But I was like, nope, we're taking a risk. We're just dropping to 50 because I can't let them in this moment. And I don't know. And then it got worse because when she finally showed up, I was already like pretty buzzed, close to drunk or whatever.
Wow.
When the lady showed up from the locksmith, whatever. So I stepped out for the last time and I went, and you know your life's in a weird place when the locksmith person shows up and gives you advice. And the whole she legit was just like, hey. So first she was like, hey, I guess she could see how like I was like kind of wobbling, like barely whatever. She saw I was kind of weird.
She was like, pull yourself together, man.
Because she kept looking at me weird the whole time or whatever. And I was trying to just seem normal, whatever, but I'm sure like my speech was slurring and some other stuff. I don't know. Right. It probably wasn't a good look. Drunk guy outside, like can't get into his car or whatever. But Wait,
you drove there and you drank?
Well, that's a whole other issue, I guess.
Oh, no. Someone call, what is it? MAD? Moms Against Drunk Driving?
Don't do that. Don't drink and drive, people. It's not great.
It's kind of funny. No, it's not. I take that back.
No, it's pretty bad. But in my defense...
It's funny that you did it. It's not funny that, like...
No, it's terrible, actually. In my defense, though, the bar is, like, right across the street from my house. And
really?
And also, I didn't plan on getting drunk when I was there. I legit was going to have, like, a drink, maybe two. Because it's my friend's birthday and I wasn't
I'm turning you in next time.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm
call the cops on me. But yeah, so that happened. And so first she pulls out a coupon and she's like, hey, I still have the coupon and I should throw it away, but I don't because I'm like, what if I need it again? She's like, hopefully it doesn't happen again. But if it does, here's a coupon for like $5 off next time you need it. And I'm like, thanks.
You should save it. Make copies.
Oh, I still have it in my... It's just printed on like little cheap paper. I probably could.
You probably could.
But I still have it in my car, in my wallet. I mean, but first she pulls out the coupon and does that. But
if you left it in the car,
oh no,
that the ultimate irony. I swear the coupon's in there with the key.
She's like, yeah, whatever. Anyways, that'll be $86.95. No. But the next thing is where she pulls out her little... I've never actually seen it done like this. It's literally like a weird piece of like cardboard, kind of like clear cardboard or something weird like that. Like some really... It reminds me of like what blinds are made of, kind of. Like it bends and it's strange. I don't know how to explain it. But it's there and it has some tape on there. So she does a little like pump up thing where she like pumps my door open a little bit, kind of damages it a little bit. Yeah. But like, that just what happens when you're irresponsible.
The price you got to pay.
Yep, exactly. That plus $59.99. But yeah, so first
that should be part of the billing. Like it'll be $59.99 and we're going to fuck up your door for you.
I was like, thanks.
Okay.
Oh, and that's before she did that though, she saw that my door was already a little bit like.
Oh, so she knew it wasn't the first time.
Yeah,
Someone
because she was like, "So
Wow.
I didn't do that. You've done this before, haven't you?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I have. This is, I think, the second.
You have like a beer in one hand. You're like, yeah.
This is technically, I think, the third time total that I've like locked myself out of my own car.
Wow.
Yeah, and this one's definitely stuck with me more than the other ones. So I didn't learn my lesson with the last few. Hopefully, I do this one.
If not, you have the coupon, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, for sure. So it'll only be 54 instead of 59.
Okay.
But right, but she pumps open the door and then she puts a little like sticky cardboard thing in there, and she's telling me the whole time how she's doing it. She's like, "Yeah, so I always tell my clients just so they don't have to, call us or whatever. Like, here's all I did. You could technically get a piece of cardboard or some tape or whatever and just stick it in there and like unlock it, And she's just telling me how to do it because I guess she thinks I've done this before.
I don't think that's how all cars work, though.
No, but I guess she's telling me this will work for my. It wasn't literally cardboard, but it was like thin plastic. I don't know how to explain it, but it was something really thin you can stick in there.
Like, I've gotten into cars before using coat hangers, but I can't get into my own car
with a coat hanger.
Because my like lock dips all the way in.
Oh.
I can't latch onto the lock, and I can't hit the button to like electrically open the car. It's so dumb. So that's weird that she'd be like, yeah.
I mean, it worked on my car, but yeah, she was telling me how to do it, and it just felt strange because it was it felt just like someone older than me, like telling me like, hey, so this is how you not
like, here you go, you dumb
exactly
fuck.
Like, here's how to get your life together a little bit. Let me help you out, but in case you don't, here's a $5 coupon.
Wow.
So, but that was just the first day. The next day after that, I hang out with the same group of friends again. It's cool. We're having fun or whatever. This time I just go to somebody's house. I don't lock my keys in the car again. It's great. But at some point, I don't know if it was like at the store when I was buying drinks or what, but at some point I like feel I look inside my wallet for some strange reason. I don't know. I just look inside, just whatever.
Yeah.
And I realized.
See, that coupon was still there.
Yeah, it is. Coupon's still there. My ID, everything's good, but I don't have my debit card for whatever reason. And I'm like, oh.
Wow.
So I do the same thing, like look around on the floor,
jacked
whatever.
all $12 that were left in there.
Right. It ain't like they got much. I spent all the money before on drinks and Locksmiths, but yeah. So I'm like, dang. First the keys and the debit card all in one weekend. Like, this is great. I'm really the moral of the story is I'm a great adult. I think I got it figured out. I think I got this figured out, you guys. It's not the biggest deal. The debit card thing actually wasn't a big deal. It is a big deal, but it wasn't that bad because I was able just to like cancel it, order a new one, and all that stuff. So I mean,
I've thrown away my debit card a few times. Just me being stupid. Like, at gas stations, I'll forget that I have the card in my hand, and I'll throw away trash from my car. And there goes the card. And both times I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Who's gonna tell me, like, I'm just gonna man up and dig through this trash can and find my card. It's what I have to do. But I've never lost it.
Oh nope,
That's new.
I remember there was one time I forgot it at a bar the night before, and I remember exactly where I forgot it. So the next morning I called and I was like, hey, do y'all got it? And they was like, yeah, we got it. And so I was able to win. They probably get that
a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure. So that time I was able to recover it. It was cool. But there were at least like 2 other times where I legit lost it. Who knows where it's at? So I canceled it, reordered it. So I know exactly the process for it. I know exactly how to do it. I know how long to wait, which is sad. But I mean, but I'm trying to get myself together. We'll see. But other than that, the week's been great. Other than just a really irresponsible weekend. Still fun, but very irresponsible on my part. It's been a decent week, I guess. It's all right.
I've had an interesting week. I have been driving for Lyft. I signed up to drive for Lyft a really long time ago, probably like a year ago. I signed up for Lyft before Lyft was even available in Houston.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And this week I've been driving for them a lot, mostly because I've had some unforeseen expenses. Not really. My phone bill happens at the same time every month. But
wait, just to interrupt you really quick. It's gonna sound kind of redundant to most people, but I feel like I should mention it. There might be some people who don't really know what Lyft is. We should explain it. Lyft
Okay,
is...
it's 2018, guys. So if you don't know what Lyft is, you can just sign off right now.
No, legit. Like, I mean, because I legit had someone tell me to
okay.
my face. They was like, not about Lyft, but they was like, hey, because I think I brought up something in one of the other episodes. I think when we were talking about, like, we said something about sports or something, and I just threw around the phrase AAU or something like that. Because I was talking about my Little League football thing or whatever I used to do. And they was like...
that was me. I was like, what is that?
They were like, not really sure what that is, or like, I kind of know, but I wasn't super sure, so maybe you should clarify for the audience next time. So this is us
Those
clarifying.
people are dumb. If you don't know what Lyft is, fuck off, buddy. You're too old to be listening to this.
Well, also, it's not that uncommon, because I also remember when, I mean, maybe they are too old, because I remember when I had to kind of explain the difference between Lyft and Uber and like all the different driving things.
They're
to
the
my
same
parents.
thing, just a different app. But okay, whatever. Lyft is just like Uber. If you don't know what Uber is, fuck off, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
Whoa.
It's a taxi. Well, how much more can I break it down for you?
I'm pretty much, it's not a big deal. I'm really just making fun of the person who,
you know,
like,
if you really don't know what Lyft is, how about you pause this and go Google it. All right. What do I look like? The Lyft spokesperson. I'm not here to like give you the rundown. I mean, I am, because I'm going to talk about it, but
and also, if Lyft did want to like sponsor us, that'd be cool though. Like, I wouldn't mind.
Oh my God,
for sure.
yeah,
That'd be great. But anyways, go on with your story. It wasn't serious. Like I said, I was just making fun of the one person out there who knows what they are and was like, you should clarify your stories more often. Like, some people don't know what that is.
What did you respond? You bitch. You probably were like, oh my God, we totally should. Let me tell Jessica. Is that how that went?
That's not how that went.
Okay. Well, yeah, anyways, I drive for Lyft. I signed up for Lyft a pretty long time ago. I think I already said that. And then I just stopped doing it, mostly because my car needed a lot of like stuff worked on it.
Like tune-up stuff. Like,
yeah. And I didn't really want to do that right away. I just kind of didn't do it. And I was working a lot of time. So I started driving for them again. And one great source of additional income. Honestly, if you qualify for Uber or Lyft and you don't mind driving,
you absolutely sound like the spokesperson.
You really
right now,
should.
Just so you know. Just so you know.
Fuck you. No, it's just a good way to like make extra money. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. It's a good way to make extra money. I'm sure there's people that make it their full-time thing. Honestly, I wouldn't mind making it my full-time thing, but I don't know enough about like.
I feel like it's kind of it's like, I don't want to say an art to it.
Honestly, it could be.
I don't want to
really
say
could be.
Well, no, it definitely is. It can be a full-time thing. I've met plenty of my Lyft drivers. I can tell they can, like, they put all their resources into it. It's their full-time thing. Like they have snacks. They're ready to just.
I'm not doing all that.
No, they got the snacks. They got the phone charger. They got water bottles. They got all kind. Like, they're ready. Like, you can tell this is what they do on a daily basis. This is their 9 to 5, and I'm like, good for y'all.
I feel like most people I don't know, because there are like good hours to drive during, and then there's hours that you probably should avoid because there's not going to be that many people out. Yeah. I feel like full-time people only drive during the good hours.
Yeah, no, I didn't literally mean they drive around from 9 to 5. No, that's what I was going to say. I feel like if you want to make it full-time, there's almost like
you have
like
to be smart at it.
Yeah, you got to be like, there's, like you said, there's peak hours.
Myself, I'm getting into the hang of it. I like it. I really do. But something I've noticed from only having been driving for about a week. Yeah. A week and some change, if you will. No, a week. A little under a week, actually.
1 week.
It's that tipping. Not a lot of people tip.
Really?
Isn't that weird?
It's
see, here's the reason I take Lyft as opposed to Uber is because I never have cash on me. Yeah. And you can't tip within the app. For Uber.
I take Lyft instead of Uber because
it's cheaper.
Most of the time, not always.
You know why?
There's been a couple times where it's not.
It's cheaper because they don't include the tip. Because when you go on Uber, like if the way that they pitch it as like a customer, if you're a customer listening to their pitch, is like, oh, it's so easy. You literally hop in and then hop back out. Right. You never have to. There's no money.
Yeah, basically, Lyft incentivizes customers to tip. Like, I've taken a lot of Lyfts.
Like, give us a 5-star and throw us $1. It's not that big a deal.
Absolutely. They want, and it's a nice give and take system, honestly, because the drivers, I don't know if you've done it yet or not, but the drivers can also rate the customers. And so
honestly, I feel bad. I only ever do like the extremes. Like if someone's really, really bad, I'll rate them. And if someone's really, really nice, I'll rate them.
I think
but
you
for
should.
the middle ground people, I just never think to.
I think you should, because I rate everybody, because I've been rated myself as a customer, because I use Lyft like a lot. Like
2
like
stars?
most of the time when I drink, I use Lyft. It just so happens this one night was weird.
Yeah.
But anyways, I used to use Lyft a whole lot, and I still do a decent amount. And if you get rated high enough, like there was one time I got an email, there was like, hey, you're rated 5 stars, so here's a half off coupon for the rest of the month. I was like, what? So legit for like for like, I think like 2 weeks I could get like,
I think I have
Lyft,
as a driver, I
rides for
have
half
a
off, which is cool.
4.96 rating.
You're behind
So there's
you're
been
behind
some-
no, I'm just kidding.
Some little assholes out there.
Probably. Well, probably not. They probably just did 4 stars instead of 5. But it's probably people
And
don't
left
know.
no tip.
And left no tip. But the way I would describe the tipping situation is disappointed but not surprised. Just because that's a thing with a lot of places.
Tip the people that are working for you, especially when, dude, I don't understand how sometimes, because I'm allowed, like as a driver, I can see how much you paid for the ride.
Yeah.
How much of that percent I got.
Uh-huh.
And whether that included a tip or not. I can see that.
So
I know that sometimes it'll be like, dude, you only paid $5 for this ride because you were only driven like 2 blocks.
Yeah.
Can you throw me an extra $1? Because out of those $5, I made $2.50.
Right.
Like, come on.
Well, I think the problem with that is, as a customer, it doesn't show us how much you. I mean, common sense will know. Well, if you're only paying $5 for it, it's not like the driver's getting all of that. It's not like they're getting
$4.50.
Right. But I mean, it's not super transparent with how much y'all make out of it.
Yeah.
For good reason, because if you start showing customers exact like percentages and stuff, like how much the driver's getting paid, I think they'd actually be less incentivized to tip. So I think that, because in that case, they like, if for example, if you took someone on a $20 ride and you got, I don't know, $10 out of it, if they knew that, they'd be like, oh, they already walked away with $10, and they probably just like,
people are trash, bro.
Yeah, people are trash is the more was like, they're
I've had some really nice people throughout this past week. I had this one couple that was, well, no, they weren't I say couple, they were just friends. Like this, it was a boy and a girl, but they weren't together. Okay. I'm not gonna say how I knew, but I knew. I can just read the air. I'm kidding. One literally said, I'm a flaming homosexual. Hi.
Oh, okay.
But the reason he said it was because both of them were hammered. Oh. And it was like 3 p.m.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. That's so funny.
They got in the car and it was just, the guy was like, everything that we drove past, he was like, oh, Buff Burger, you Texans love like making everything. Like he was so much fun. And then the girl was nonstop giggling. Like she could not stop laughing.
That's funny. I'm pretty sure I've been in at least 2 or 3 like just drunk, get on your Lyft driver's nerves.
Yeah,
rides.
That was great though. They were so
funny.
nice.
Yeah.
They were just laughing. And at one point I had to make a U-turn, and when I stopped the car to like do it, he was like, oh my God, are we already here? And I was like, no. I just took off. You've been in the car for 2 minutes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, just be nice to your Lyft drivers if you're gonna take anything from this little thing.
For sure. Yeah, be nice and tip them. Above all, tip them.
Throw me $1. $1 would be nice. I had
really
one guy, honestly, the highest tip I've ever had, it was probably like a 10-minute ride. And the guy was just so nice. He was like, so what do you do for fun? And most of the time I lie. Like if they tell me, oh, I'm going to a bar, I'll say, oh, I like to go out drinking for fun. And then they can keep talking, Then they'll be like, oh, dude, I'm going to this great bar. Like, it's so easy to just lie. Or if they're saying, like if I'm driving during the day and they're like, oh, what do you like to do for fun? And I'm taking them to, like, the mall, the gallery or something. I'll be like, oh, I love this store at the mall. And then they'll jump in with, oh, my God, we're headed to, like, this place is having a sale or whatever.
It just hit me how many times. It just hit me how many times I probably fell for that.
Yeah, because it's easier.
And I mean, and I'm not even one who gets in the car and starts talking to my Lyft drivers. The only time I ever talk to them is if, like, I have some who are really friendly who, like, want to talk to me.
Yeah.
And they usually, they'll do that. Like, if I'm going to a bar, they'll be like, oh, man, like, I like going to this one. I remember one time I had a kind of creepy one. I was like, because, like, it was strange.
Okay.
Because I was there, and he was taking me up the street to this bar, and he was like, oh, man, like, are there a bunch of girls and stuff there or whatever? And I was like, I mean, probably. Like, he was like, oh, man, when I finish this, I'll probably come up there and I'll probably see you there. And I was like, oh.
Oh, we took a Lyft once together, and we had a guy like that.
Yeah,
was like,
there was that too. Yeah, there was that too.
See you guys there, and I was like,
was that
no? I'm leaving.
Wasn't that the old guy who just talked a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just seemed like he was kind of like.
I'm glad we were in the backseat because there was one of our friends was sitting up front with him.
I think that was probably me.
Oh, that was probably you.
Because I always.
I'm glad I was in the backseat.
Yo, I'm always the one who gets stuck like sitting. No, it might have been Daniel. I think it was Daniel this one time. Because usually I'm the one sitting in the front, but this time it might have been. I totally
sacrificed him to the front seat.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Whoops, sorry, Daniel. I forgot. I'm supposed to stop saying your name.
Yeah. So I usually.
My bad.
I usually I'll lie, but this one guy, right? I straight up told him like, oh well, I really like our museum district.
Yeah.
And he said, word. Like he was. I don't want to stereotype him. I think he was Hispanic or white. He didn't look, very dark. But he was in the backseat, so I don't like look back at them and inspect or anything. They just get in and I drop them off. It's not a big deal.
Sure thing.
But he replied to my museum thing with, oh, I was just at the museum. There's like this really cool bamboo installation that they just put out. And I was so taken back because I didn't expect that to come out of his mouth. Like I thought he'd be like, oh, and then that would be the end of it.
Yeah, that's probably how
ride in silence.
That's probably how I would have replied.
And it was really late at night. I'm sure he was going to a house party or something. So I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Was it at the art one? And he was like, yeah, the art museum.
Yeah.
And it was such a nice conversation. And then right as he went to get out, he asked me, hey, so do the tips go straight to you or do they take a cut of that as well?
That's nice.
And I was so taken back. I said, oh, no, yeah, the tip goes entirely to us. Like they only take a cut out of the ride fare.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, okay, because I don't have enough cash. And then I said, oh, that's fine. And he leaves, right?
Yeah.
And he left me a $6 tip.
Wow.
And I was like, that's the highest. I've driven people for like over an hour straight.
You said that one was just a 10-minute ride?
Yeah.
Wow. What a good guy.
Just from like one neighborhood to like the next. It was.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, damn, what a nice.
There are good people out there.
There are good people out there. But I've also had people that have like I had these two guys that I picked up once. Pretty nice. They did tip. They left like $2. It wasn't that long of a drive, maybe like a 15-minute drive.
Yeah.
But they were nonstop, like, oh, like you should just come drink with us. Like we're headed to the bar. Just come, like stay with us.
So
it'll
they
be
legit
fun.
were trying to hit on you.
I don't understand what their plan. Because I was like, oh no, this is a Friday. Like this is when I make the most. Like I'd rather just stay on the road and as long as I possibly can. And they were like, oh, but maybe when you're done or when you're tired, you can swing by. We're gonna be there all night. It's fun. It'll be a big group of us.
I'm sure they actually thought they had a pretty good shot.
Maybe they did.
They had to. I mean, shoot your shot. You know what they say about all the shots you don't take. You miss them.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Michael Scott.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yes, that's what I was going for. You kind of. Yes.
Who is he quoting? Who is Michael Scott quoting?
I don't know, but it makes sense. You shoot your shot. 2018. You know.
What's that? You know the Cinderella movie with Hilary Duff.
I know of it. I didn't watch it, but I definitely.
There's
have
a quote on the wall that's like, it's funny because I'm trying to play it off like I don't watch that movie like once a month.
You know
it's
that
like
one
there's
movie?
this quote. I don't think I can remember it word for word. No, I do. It says, it's this quote on the wall that says, "Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game."
Aww.
Yeah.
I feel like that definitely
let those words guide you.
For sure. Except when it comes to hitting on people. If you feel like it might be inappropriate, don't do it. I feel like this time it was probably a little inappropriate.
Yeah, it was inappropriate. I'm your Lyft driver. Like
absolutely. Yeah.
I'm here doing my job. It's like don't hit on like retail workers.
Yeah, don't hit on
helping you. Like, dude, I'm nice to you because I have to.
Yeah, anybody who's servicing you and like doing a job for
servicing you.
Shut up. Anybody who's servicing you, doing a job for you, chances are they're doing it so they don't get fired, so they have to.
Yeah.
So don't take advantage of that. So it's funny. I made the joke about shoot your shot. Except in this case, don't shoot your shot.
But it doesn't apply to the conversation. So why did we bring it?
Absolutely. Do not shoot your shot at your Lyft drivers. Don't do it. It's just not.
It's weird.
Just don't do it. Nope.
But now that we've gotten into this very weird, I mean, the rules of dating are odd,
strange,
very very weird.
But that
brings us to
the actual topic. 35 minutes into the podcast, this might have been the longest introduction we've done this far.
Had a lot to catch up on.
I'm here for it though. But the actual topic of today, dating, specifically online dating,
modern romance. Where's that from? Modern romance.
I have no idea. You got to tell me.
Thought maybe that was like a Lady Gaga thing, but no, that's just bad romance. Same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, bad romance, modern romance, Tinder. That's what we're talking about. Tinder.
Yeah.
Tinder.
Well, online dating in general.
Online dating in general,
All
but
these
Tinder.
apps,
I think
dating
Tinder is like
apps.
the face of it. You know, Tinder is like when people talk about anything they negative about it, they bring up Tinder. You know.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll start it off. I actually have a pretty good amount of.
Hi, my name is Dominic, and I'm an addict.
Right.
I'm addicted to dating apps.
Yes. I've been on dating apps for about what year are we in 20? So like 5 years now. No, but in all seriousness,
I dream of the day I can stop
and actually meet someone. No, in all seriousness, I actually have been using like just different dating apps since like my first year in college,
which was 5 years ago now.
Yep. Thanks for
Wow.
reminding me. Yep.
Thanks for
5
dating
years.
you.
Thanks for dating me. Absolutely. 5 years ago. But yeah, it was at first, the funny thing is, it started off pretty well. It started off nice. I still remember like the first like girl I like. Well, not the first I matched up with. The first girl that I matched up and actually met up with. So we matched up. I was on campus at the time, so I was like kind of nervous, like, oh, how's this gonna work out? I don't have a car. She doesn't go to school here, but I mean, I guess she has one, so she's just gonna have to pick me up, and I'm just gonna like, and it was kind of weird. I also didn't have a lot of money at the time, so I don't know why I was even trying to date. Like, what I'm gonna think I'm gonna do, but either way, she picked me up. It was very weird meeting her because I had never met someone off the internet before. Like, it was very much a don't talk to strangers, but except in this case.
But
like,
I'm getting ready to fuck this one.
So yeah, we met. It was a pretty good time. We met and we went out to this coffee shop. This like local like hipster like it was like a coffee shop over a lake or whatever. And coffee was it was really nice.
The coffee was trash though.
I mean, I actually don't remember because I don't even think I drank any of the coffee. I think I just got like a cookie or something because I don't really like coffee that much. But we went. It was cool. But one of the funny things about this date was that like I was really nervous. This was my first time meeting with anybody online. So I told two of my friends legit to kind of hang.
Wow.
Yeah. So two of my friends came and dropped me off.
So you were the
we
girl
got there.
in this scenario, yeah.
Well, we don't have to enforce gender stereotypes, but
I'm gonna.
Okay, but yeah. Essentially, we got to the date so early that they were able to drop me off. They went to a different table, like across the way, but still where they can see.
I thought you were just gonna say that you told them like, "Hey, pick me up at this time."
No.
No, you made them wait there.
They were there, so yeah. I think maybe if it started at 6 or 7, we got there at like 5 or 5:30, so that she wouldn't see me walk in with these people. Yeah. It was this whole elaborate ruse. It was great, but it worked. So they were there across the like.
Did they watch while you had sex with her after? Did they babysit that as well?
No, that'd be strange. But they were there because I was legit nervous. Like, oh man, I hope this is.
Hope she doesn't kill me.
Yeah. Also, I hope this is the.
I'm laughing, but it's laughter to mask the pain of like, I genuinely fearing for my life.
Oh, it's a legit thing for sure. And I mean, I'm a man, so it's not necessarily like I'm way at less.
It's still dangerous.
It's still dangerous. Meeting anytime with a stranger for sure. Because my first thought was, what if it's not a girl? What if it's some like guy who's just ready to like trying to do something weird? I don't know, like
touch your butthole.
No, not that way. I mean, legit. Some like I don't know what I thought, but I thought maybe like, what if I meet up with a serial killer or something, like legit, like a violent person or whatever who just disguises themselves on Tinder. Yeah. So they sat across the way and pretended like they were on a date or whatever, and just watched me the whole time while I was there with this girl and like talked and whatever, and it was pretty funny. But it worked. It worked. We actually went on like.
So did you fuck her?
Nah. But we went on a couple dates after that though. Maybe like, I think in total we ended up on 3 different dates. And I was like, oh, this is actually like, going somewhere. Nah. After the third date, we just never talked again. Nah. Like
you hit her up and she left you on red, or?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Sorry, buddy, because I do that all the time.
Hey, it happens, it is what it is. But that kind of brings me to the I mean, as the kids call it, ghosting. That's what not the kids call
ghosting.
It. Wait, have you?
It is a thing. Yeah, it is a thing. Ghosting.
Yeah, no, that's.
Why did you preface it like that? As the kids call it.
Because I was trying.
As you call it.
Well, it's not just me. It's a thing. That's literally like if you look on like BuzzFeed articles and stuff. That's what they call it, like the ghosting epidemic. They make it seem worse than it is, but it does kind of suck. At first, I used to actually get kind of like offended by it because it kind of happened like often early on. I would like. I didn't always meet up with these girls, but we would start talking or whatever, and then randomly they'd just be like, nah, and they just wouldn't like, they wouldn't even say no, they just would like either unmatched or they just wouldn't like say anything or
Wow.
they just wouldn't. And I was like, wow, what's going on?
What the hell
like,
happened here? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't think I said anything offensive. I'm not one of those guys that just immediately hits
And then you
up
called her a
just,
slut.
no, like
You're
and
like, all
that's
right,
the funny
bitch,
thing
leave
about
me
it.
over here.
I'm not one of those guys who's like straight up just hit them, even though I don't think there's anything wrong with this, being upfront about your intentions, but I was never one who was just like, hey, you trying to smash, or like nothing like that. And what people
I was.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it's perceived, and that's another weird thing about like Tinder and other dating apps right now, is that you kind of like, when I first got on there, I feel like it was for hookups. I feel like that was just a thing that was was common. But now if you go on there, that's not necessarily the case.
Everyone's trying to make a friend.
It's so strange. Like, I go on there and more profiles than not are either trying to make a friend, or I don't know what I'm looking for, or I definitely want a relationship. But
head over to farmersonly.com.
Yeah, it's strange. And I'm just like, so, and there's nothing wrong with any.
I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with any of those, right? Like, you get whatever you want out of a dating app. I just think it's kind of strange. Now, the one thing I do get kind of like, I'm not here for it, I'm gonna be honest with you, is the people who kind of just want pen pals. Like, for example, this
pen pals.
It's a joke, basically, who just want to text all day and never want to.
That's weird. That's fucking weird.
One of my more recent matches, actually. We matched up and we're talking like whatever, cool, you know, I'm chit-chatting her, finding out her favorite food and all that boring whatever stuff early on, just to kind of get to know her and make sure. Mostly I do that just to see like, this is a real person, not a bot, and not like not a cat, like just make sure the person's a real person, you know.
Okay.
And so I think things are going well or whatever. Then I ask her out. I'm like, hey, you know, you want to go out to this restaurant or whatever sometime? She says to me, no offense, but I'm just here for fun. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I interpret that as in maybe she means maybe because it can mean a lot of things, I guess.
Because when I hear that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
what do you think?
The fun part to me. Okay, so you guys are on a date.
No, we're just texting. We're texting, and I ask her out to a date.
Oh, okay. And she replies with,
no offense, but I'm just on Tinder for fun. Yes.
Okay, so
what do you
the way
think?
I think of it,
yeah,
and this is coming from someone who used Tinder for a very short period of time, and for one very specific purpose.
Okay.
Right. I hear that, and I think that she's saying she doesn't want to go on a date. Yeah. She just wants to have sex.
Okay, so that's kind of what I was possibly thinking too. I didn't know for sure. Part of me kind of knew better.
Because that's the fun part.
Yeah, I mean,
like, I can take myself to Chili's, thank you, but I can't.
I'm just trying to. Yeah.
But I'm just trying to fuck, like.
Right, and that's so I was like, maybe she's at. But I don't want to assume anything, so I
Chili's
has
to be like a running joke in all these.
I love Chili's so much. Oh, I never.
Every single podcast we mentioned.
You brought it up. I didn't even tell him. Yes, I asked the girl out to Chili's. That's where.
Yeah. I didn't mean it, but here we are.
But no, yeah, I asked her out to Chili's, and she's like, "No offense, I'm just here for fun." So at first, initially, I thought the same thing as you thought, but then having been on,
she trying to fuck.
But having been on Tinder for a couple years, part of me kind of knew better. So I was like, let me ask and see what she actually wants. So I asked her. I was like, oh, so does that mean like you're just here for casual sex, you know? That's not exactly the words I said, but that's basically what I was asking. And she said, no, like in all caps. She was like as if she was upset. She's like, no, I'm just here to talk. And I'm just like,
that's when you should have unmatched.
But I didn't reply. I think I replied, oh, okay. Because I didn't know what to say because I don't understand that. But she's not the only, she's the only one who's come out and just said she's only here to talk, but she's not the only one that's happened to. Like across a couple different like apps, like, because I use a few of them. I use like Tinder. I've tried Bumble. Those have been the most, I guess, successful where I've actually met up with people. I tried Coffee Meets Bagel because one of my friends recommended it, and it sucked. It was awful. It sucked. Nothing ever materialized out of that. I've used for a little bit. I think I tried this one thing called Plenty of Fish. Also trash.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of Fish, yeah, trash. I don't know why. I think I tried that because one of my coworkers at a point told me at one of my last jobs, they were like, "Yo, I'm like engaged. I met my fiance on Plenty of Fish," and I was like, "Oh." Well, and I wasn't looking for a wife. I wasn't looking for a wife, but I was also like, I mean, maybe like
not for me.
I don't know, like, because I wouldn't mind any kind of genuine relationship coming from a dating app. It just hasn't happened much, really. But yeah, that has happened a few times though, where it's like it seems like they're just here to talk, and I'm like, what? I don't understand the whole.
So you go on looking for
I'm here for. Well, it depends. It's up and down phases. There's one point where I was legit just trying to like, have casual sex. There's one point where I was only looking for relationships, like kind of early on.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm somewhere in the middle. Like whatever I meet is what I meet. I'm kind of okay with either or, right? Like it kind of just depends. I kind of just would want to meet up with the person and see what the vibe is like. Like if we legit vibe and we have like I like her personality and stuff, then yeah, I want to take her on a few dates and actually, But if I think she's attractive, but we aren't really vibing much, then okay, I guess that's just I'll be okay with the hookup and just leaving that alone,
Right.
But the issue is, it seems like a lot of girls here. I shouldn't say girls because I don't know. Maybe guys are like that too. I just haven't really. I don't have my settings turned on to guys, so I don't know what they're here for.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of people are using like Tinder and other dating apps just for the lulz, like just for the fun, just to get on, just to be like, oh, I wonder what it's like, and then like leave it alone. And it's like you're allowed to do whatever you want, but it's kind of strange. It's
not on my platform. Take that shit elsewhere.
Well, it's just a weird interaction. Like, I don't know. Like, I was talking to one of my friends one time, and they said, and they're in like a serious relationship, so they obviously don't have anything. But they was like, oh, if I ever got on there just to see what it was like, I would probably just look at everybody's profile, get my laughs in, have my fun, quote unquote. But they would swipe left on everybody so that they wouldn't match up with anybody and wouldn't waste anybody's time, essentially,
Okay.
And I can respect that.
I can respect that. I thought you
fine.
were going to say that they would actually like talk to people.
No, they would just swipe left the whole time and just keep it moving. I think that's fun. You can still show your friends, be like, look at this weird person outside, whatever. Because there are a lot of weirdos in there. That is
a lot of fun.
But I don't know. It's not working out, but it's a very strange phenomenon because it's like I go through phases where I won't be on there for a while. I'll take like a legit few months off, then I'll get back on. And I know when I get on, nothing good is going to come from it. Yeah. But I can't help but still keep coming back. And it's strange.
I'm in a weird place I've only ever used Tinder. You know what's funny? While you were talking, I think I mentioned Match.com.
That's the one I never tried because I think they want you to pay. And I'm
they want you to pay. And it's for like old people. But
you say that. Maybe that one actually works.
The only two, I've actually gone on another one that's technically a dating.
What?
It's not an app, but it's a website.
What is it?
This is so bad. I hope no one from my family is ever listening to this.
Are you going to say you...
SeekingArrangements.com.
That's great. I know what that is.
I was trying to get me a sugar daddy. So bad. So bad.
Seeking Arrangements is basically, isn't it? I mean, it's for you to set up whatever kind of. You're supposed to be able to set up whatever kind of personal, like quote unquote, arrangement you want. But it's basically
it's when you're seeking an arrangement.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and it facilitates that process.
I feel you.
But there's literally like when you're making a profile, you have options to be like, I want to be a sugar baby, sugar daddy.
Yeah.
So
whatever.
it's not like it's so like.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty out there.
Well, one thing I've heard recently, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I've kind of heard that it's kind of they're cracking down on it a little bit because I don't know how.
The thing is, you can't explicitly say, I will pay you for sex.
Yeah, because that's legal. Yeah, illegal here anyway.
But what you can do is say, I'm looking for a companion for like a physical reason.
Sure. Yeah.
I want the relationship to be physical, and you can put two and two together.
Yeah.
It's also like, you got to do the math, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if a guy's willing to pay you like $100 to go on a date with him, he's not trying to fuck. Maybe he is, but don't take that. Because know it's not enough to justify like sleeping with him.
Probably not.
But if he's like, hey, I'll give you this allowance every week.
Oh, that's
then it's like, oh shit, he might be trying to fuck, but he's trying to pay more.
I got you.
I did it for a little bit.
How did anything actually come of this?
I did it at the same time that I was doing Tinder.
Oh, okay.
And then like soon after, before I ever like got to meet anyone in person, I just got into a relationship. So
okay, cool.
That
stopped. This is pointless. Yeah, I got you.
It was strange. Honestly, if there are any girls out there who are considering it or who are thinking about it or who are curious,
I'd say be careful because I know about it.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
I'd say be careful.
I think it's like the way that you would be careful for Tinder, like double it, triple it.
Yeah, that sounds like seeking.
I'm
talking about seeking an arrangement specifically. Be really careful because this is a very. I mean, I don't know.
It's also very Okay, so if you didn't listen to the last podcast, we talked a little bit about like stretch marks and
a little
how...
bit about stretch marks. No, yeah,
yeah.
You only had a little bit of a freak out,
An actual mental breakdown. I'm still recovering from. It's okay. I'm drinking a lot of tea. But so when you're on a dating app like Tinder, like Bumble, like whatever, and you hook up with someone, it's all fun. It's like you're two young people, like, you know.
Yeah.
But when you go over to somewhere like Seeking Arrangements, there were guys whose profiles would be like, yeah, I'm 55, but I need someone who is athletic and slim and muscular and toned.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm not paying you.
Wow.
So it's such a weird thing because I have like a very flipped. My brain is just, I don't know. Like I whenever I go on dates, I'm like, I'm the baddest bitch in this room. Like that's just how I go into a date. Feeling.
I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Have
to. No, for
like,
sure.
You have to.
You gotta
feel and confident in order to not let some douchey kid off of the internet like put you down.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Or make you feel like you're less than worthy of whatever. But when it comes to something like that, it's like I'll then look at myself and be like, well, I'm not athletic, or like I don't have like a slim build.
Is it a little weirder because they're a little older, so you feel like maybe they like no, or like maybe
I don't know. Maybe because there's money involved. I feel like, am I lying? Am I selling them?
It feels like lying on a job application.
Yeah, like shit.
Yeah, of course I know how to use Microsoft Excel. Like,
yeah, I'm built. Like I'm sporty. I'm athletic.
I go to the gym sometimes. Yeah.
I have a gym membership. It's weird. It's a very weird environment, but it's not the worst. I mean, there are people out there willing to
I would
pay
still
for
say
some
be
weird
really
things.
careful, because I've legit heard that, like, because I think the word is getting out. I read somewhere that the word is getting out that it's kind of like people, anybody who knows about Seeking Arrangements knows it's basically for like sugar daddy, sugar babies, whatever type of thing. Yeah. And I think the word's kind of getting out. So like some of those, like I've heard of some people's accounts getting shut down. Basically, like it's a legit like. So when I say be careful, I mean be careful for your safety, but also like legit be careful, because I mean you might get caught legit.
But what I was active on was Tinder.
Yeah.
And I was strictly hookup. Like I wasn't even trying to.
Did you put it in your profile specifically, or did you not? You just didn't put anything?
My profile, I remember it. I remember exactly what my profile because it was one line. Yeah. It said,
not here for a good time, not a long time. I actually tried that for like a week in my profile. It was pretty funny.
It was who wants to get weird and play Mario Kart.
Oh, I remember.
You remember this because you and I think Daniel was there.
Yeah, no, we were there. I remember this.
Here comes Daniel's name once again.
Listen,
can't keep that bitch's name out of my mouth. But we were like all together when I decided to make my profile, because I was like, oh, I haven't done it before. Let me give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I made a profile, and it was interesting. There was a lot of like, honestly, it was really fun. Yeah, because I don't know. I mean,
one strange thing I can say that, and I've seen it not just with you, but a few like of my like friends that are girls or whatever that decide I'm gonna get on Tinder, right? So I'll get on Tinder and I'll go through phases where sometimes for like maybe a week or two I'll just don't get matches, and then like the next time I get on and like I'll get all the like a lot, like 3 or 4 or 5 like at a time, whatever. It's just kind of up and down. Any girl I've seen get on there, they get constant the matches are like 100, like
you can't
it's
have
ridiculous.
Your notifications on.
Yeah, it's legit that much, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But I guess that makes sense, because I mean, I don't know the stats behind it, but I'm guessing there are probably just a lot more guys on there than girls.
I would go on there and I'd be like, every guy I saw that I thought was cute, I knew it was a match, because the second I swiped, it'd be like, oh, you guys can start talking. Yeah. So when like the few random, I feel like I'm talking myself up. But the few random times when I would swipe and it wouldn't be a match, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, I'd be so disappointed in the app. Like, is this an error? Like,
wow.
Has he not seen my profile yet? It was so weird. Just because the statistics, it was like I was matching with everybody that I swiped on. Everybody was a match.
Sure.
So the few times
every guy out there has. If a guy doesn't find you attractive, what the heck is wrong with him?
I know.
Seriously.
This is when I was a lot thinner. No, but it wasn't like I was thinking to myself, like, I'm so hot, how could he not swipe right on me?
Yeah.
It was more like every single guy.
Yeah, it really was happening. It really was happening that way. Yeah, no, I remember it.
You were there. You were there when I was like literally swiping in every.
I remember I was like, wow, surprised at first, but then I thought about it. I was like, I'm sure. I mean, it makes sense.
Every thirsty dude,
yeah. So how did your experience work out? Did you like actually go on a few dates? Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a few. You talked about ghosting, and that was my favorite part. Was that
just the not?
I remember a few dates where it was so nice, right? Like, I feel bad saying it, but it would generally be like I'd show up for the date, and I'd get picked up. I never let them pick me up. Actually, I would always drive.
Yeah, be safe about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I was gonna. I'm gonna pause you for like a quick second because I was gonna talk about a few things to like. And for anybody who's thinking about doing online dating, like just a few things that I always go by to make sure. I've never been on a Tinder date and not let someone know where I am, right? Like, I always, it's just a safety thing. I mean, let someone know where you're going, where you are, or whatever. Like you said, kind of just prefer to meet up with them at least the first time because you don't want just some weird person showing up. That being said,
because then they know where you live.
Yeah, that being said, I have gone and picked up girls at their house before on the first date. But I always ask though, I'm like, do you want to meet up or do you want me to pick you up? And most of the time they want to meet up. This one girl in particular wanted me to pick her up.
Was like, I'm trying to get murdered tonight, so pick me up.
And I was like, it made me a little suspicious. I was like, what if I show up?
And they
and she murders me?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did it anyway, weird. And I'm not dead, so that's cool. But yeah, just be safe about it. Be smart, be safe. Another thing, I don't know if you probably didn't do this that much, so you can verify and tell us if you did or not. I always I talk to them until I know for sure that they're a real person. And they kind of know who they say they are. So there's been a few like phone calls involved. There's been a couple FaceTimes. Sometimes I'll text them and you can kind of just tell if you're talking to like a real person, if you're talking to like, because sometimes there's like weird bots and stuff on here, or sometimes it's not necessarily bots, but it'll be, and nothing against them, but it'll be like girls on like, who are just like advertising for their cam shows and stuff. And it's like, that they get on Tinder and stuff too. Sometimes they just, I mean, why not? Nothing wrong with that. But basically I'll talk to the person until I realize, okay, it's not any of those things. It's a real girl who actually whatever. And then I go from there.
That's strange. I do it. I have like, I used to, obviously it's been so long, but I'll like be talking to them on the app for a while, and then eventually they'll not even for a while, like maybe a day. Yeah. I'll match with them. They'll say like hi, and I'll be like hi, and then whatever. If they man up, that sounds me. But they'll ask me to go on a date, and then I'll go. I'll drive to them. Very rarely do I tell anybody that I'm going because I don't know. I just never think to tell my friends like
I don't know.
I'm going on a date. I don't do it. I don't recommend it. Tell your friend, tell your mom, tell whatever. But I just always just show up and I'm like, well, I'm ready for death. And and depending on how the dates go, I'll give them my number.
Right. Oh, okay.
That way, if it goes really bad, I can run back home, unmatch with them, and like never.
Got you. Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's happened a few times where the date will go really, really nice. Like they'll be funny or the conversation will be fun. Maybe we're doing like a fun activity. I had this one guy who took me to a stand-up comedy show. Okay. It was so much fun. Oh, that sounds cool. We went and had drinks and it was just such a fun date. But then when it came to like him walking me to my car, I was like, ooh, I'm not even a little attracted to this guy.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, and I feel like in hindsight, I should have been like, hey dude, so can we just be friends? But instead, I ghosted him. I just straight up was like, unmatched. Bye forever, dude.
I mean, it is what it is, but I can definitely tell you being that the guy on the other side of that, it's not, like I said, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just kind of weird. It's just strange, especially when, like, because if you get ghosted before you even, like, go, well, that's whatever, right? Yeah. But there's been, like, once or twice where I legit, like you described, we go out, we actually have a good date, like a good time, and then they just kind of never talk to you again. I'm like, so what's... Like, did I do something wrong? Did something, what the fuck happened? Like,
it's not, I don't know. I always treated the Tinder dates like.
I mean, for you, I understand because you said you're there for one purpose, right? So I get it. But I don't know. Like, it's strange. That being said, I have myself, I think there was one time I legit did ghost a girl. Because it was just a weird situation and I just didn't see it going anywhere. And that's another thing. I feel like dating apps, the main issue I kind of have had or whatever is whether we go out or we don't, either way, it just feels like a waste of time. It just feels like I'm wasting my time one way or the other, Not every time. There's been some dates that feel good, but then they don't turn into anything. Yeah. But it feels like a waste of time. So there's this one girl I matched up with. It's the girl I said I went in and picked up at her house or whatever. So it's cool. We go out to dinner or whatever. We kind of vibe a little bit. It's fun, you know. Our personalities kind of match. She was like this kind of hipster, artsy-ish girl or whatever. She had her job, and in her spare time, she painted, and she like sold her paintings and stuff. Like she showed me her Instagram and stuff. Like she legit was like, I guess the typical like struggling artist or whatever.
Yeah.
And something about that, I dug it. I was like, okay, cool. You know, she had her hair dyed and stuff. I was like, the whole thing. I was like, I'm about it. It's cool. Yeah. But then I don't know. It got kind of weird. We were talking on the phone and stuff, and things were going well. But after a while, even though she never explicitly said it, I just got the feeling that like it wasn't going anywhere. Like we would go and we would hang out maybe 2 or 3 times, I think. And nothing would ever really come of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like definitely nothing physical came of it, which is fine, right? Like I'm not the type of dude to press it if it doesn't seem like she wants to, you know, like if like you can kind of tell on a date if a girl's like trying to, or if another person in general is really trying to have sex or not, or even trying to do anything physical.
Right.
It seemed like she wasn't really about it, and I was like, that's fine. Maybe she just wants to wait or whatever. And I talked to her about it at a point, and she was like, oh yeah, like I'm down. I'm just like, you know, not at this moment. I'm like, okay, cool. But I guess. So
you ghosted her? Why? It just felt weird.
It felt weird, and it was kind of taking a little while, and I was like, it felt like, honestly.
It was taking longer than I wanted.
Well, it's because I was talking to her for a legit month, and like nothing was like.
Yeah.
Nothing was like, and like there wasn't even it was nothing coming from it. It just felt like I had this friend who I was like hanging out with, and I was like, I'm not about it, honestly.
I had this one really, really fun guy. Well, that's not fair. He was okay.
It's not fair to call him fun.
No, it's because the situation was fun, but he specifically, to call him the fun guy, like I don't think that's fair to him.
Fun's a strong word.
Yeah, like he was just a nice guy.
Yeah, okay.
I think we went to like the movies, and then he was cool and everything, but the thing is, he had this friend. Yeah. He had like, I don't think it was his best friend. I really don't know. I didn't get to like see their friendship up close or anything. He didn't say much about him, but he had this friend, and we hung out with him at one point, and kind of like this group event.
Yeah,
he dragged me along. I'm trying to be very vague. I don't know why, but I feel like
I try and do the same thing. I always feel I feel weird whenever I go tell these stories on here, and then it's like, if I give a too many details, but I mean, the worst thing that's gonna happen is the person, by some miracle, the random Tinder person is listening, and they hit you up out of nowhere, like, hey, it's like the likelihood seems small.
Right. Well, I went out on this group event with him, and he had his friend there, and not gonna lie, guys, his friend was cute.
Okay.
But
you showed up there as like, was it like a date with him?
Yeah, it was. Like,
Why did
I
he
was
bring
definitely
his
there.
friend?
Well, it was like a lot of people. It wasn't like it was just his friend. His friend happened to be there. But because his friend was friends with him, it was like a...
Oh, hey, he met up with his friend here.
Yeah. It wasn't like...
I thought you meant he brought it with. I was like, if he brings his friend with him, he gets whatever he gets. Like, that's...
It wasn't like that. It was. Okay. I mean, I think it was just like...
A weird coincidence?
That his friend was there. Yeah, it's not a big deal. But what I took... I don't know. It was so weird because I'm such a flirt. Like, I just like flirting with people. Sure. It's fun. Yeah. People are fun to flirt with. It's like, just a fun thing to do.
It is. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. It's a fun thing. Yeah.
And I guess I may have come on too strong to his friend in moments where I wasn't with the guy that I was there to date specifically. Uh-oh. So when I left, right, like I went back to this dude's place, whatever. And then I went back home. Yeah. I was getting texts from his friend who asked for my number at some point in the night. Okay. And he was just like, hey, so like I talked to I was about to say his name, but he was like, hey, I talked to like my friend, and he says, you know, you guys are like dating, but
so he still was trying to
so it was such a weird thing of like
that sounds great.
I met his friend on Tinder, and I was hooking up with his friend, and then he swooped in, and he was handsome, like he was a good looking dude.
He was better than his friend. He was
That's
better
mean.
Looking friend.
That's mean to say, but kinda.
Like, okay, I mean that's fine.
Kinda.
There
were certain characteristics that one had that the other didn't. So
okay.
Kind of like balanced.
Yeah. Sure.
I didn't know what to do, so and I hit him back. Like I was replying back. Yeah. Like
because you were kind of interested in him too.
I kind of was. Yeah. Point is, I got so awkward about the whole thing. I just ghosted both of them. I just stopped texting both of them.
Well,
I was like, that's the resolution for this. Because a part of me genuinely was like, can I hook up with both of them? Is that weird? Like,
you know, I think it.
Here's the thing.
I don't know.
If I may be so vulgar, if you don't want to hear this part, tune out. Because it's gonna get vulgar. Whatever. I genuinely thought I was there for a threesome when he brought up his friend. I genuinely thought I was there for. I was like, oh, I'm down.
Oh, this is where this happens.
Yeah. I was like, okay. My happy-go-lucky self. I was like, yeah, okay.
But that
like,
wasn't the situation.
Both of them were buying me drinks. Both of them would come up like at different points throughout the night. Like,
you know what? You know what it probably was, and this is so stupid, but it sounds like a guy, like a pro thing to do. Because I remember something like this happened once with one of my friends in college. So we both were into the same girl, right? Mm-hmm. And instead of being like, oh, I saw her first, or what, you know, we was like, you know what? We're adults. We can handle this. We're both gonna shoot our shot, and whatever shot like falls or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And at a point, I kind of got lazy and just backed out. I was like, you can. But,
I don't know if that's what happened here.
No, I'm sure clearly that none of them. Clearly, both of them were there for it. I'm saying they probably were like, hey, whatever happens. Sounds like one of them won, but the other one still wasn't giving up. He was like, well, I mean, they not exclusive, so.
When I met his friend, it wasn't our first date. Yeah. Like, I was already like. We had previous meetings. I had previous meetings the first time.
So
I genuinely, I showed up, and when the second he introduced me, I was like, oh, I'm fucking both of y'all tonight. All right. Like, cool. That's cool. Like, I'm down.
It's just hard for me to believe that, like, he didn't know that. He had to have known. And for him to still go for it, either he's just like, hey, I don't care. This friendship means nothing to me.
Maybe.
Or I feel like they probably talked about it and was just like, hey,
maybe they did.
Dude.
Maybe there was a conversation that I just wasn't in on.
And they probably were both like, hey, dude, if it
But that was the funnest, because I genuinely was like, dude, I have it made. Like, I have great. a little triangle.
That sounds
in
fun.
The rotation. It was great. But it didn't happen. They were both just trying to fuck individually. And I'm like, what? Double the work for me? Like...
Double the work for me.
Have you ever seen those scenes in porn where it's like she's on her knees and like both of the dicks are like by her head and she's holding them both? Oh my
lord, yes.
Wouldn't it be so funny if she just like banged them together?
No.
It would be so good.
Nothing about
Why
that.
does no one ever have fun in porn? Why is it always just sexy? Like,
because they're trying to make money.
Wouldn't that be funny if they just like she just like she has them both here and she just poop, like she poops.
I think you're imagining it as if they're doing this for fun, but they're workers trying to make money, trying to make an entertaining product. Like,
that would be entertaining. That'd be entertaining to me.
Would you pay for it?
Yeah, I would. I actually would.
Okay. Well, then never mind.
I gotta get into the business of like directing or something, because I think that'd be funny if it was like real life and. I mean, funny
I hear the porn industry is struggling. Maybe that's one of the reasons why. Maybe it's not because of the internet and how you can get it for free.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because their ideas aren't creative enough. Maybe it's because they're not having enough fun in the bedroom.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I genuinely believe.
Oh my God.
I'll be like, all right, guys, and now we boop the penises.
Wait, what? I didn't.
What does that mean?
Being the guy,
boop them.
Imagine being one of the guys, and you're just onto the scene, and you're like, I didn't sign up for this, but I guess I gotta get my penis booped.
I think that's why it's so hard to make like threesomes that are two dudes, one girl hard in real life. Like it's so hard to put them together because most dudes are so uncomfortable with like another guy's penis being involved.
For sure.
If they're not also attracted to males.
Straight guys are just not about.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I guess like I can do two girls at once, and it's like, no, you can't. Like you don't have the stamina, bro. Like you don't flatter yourself. Yeah. But it's so hard to arrange one where it's like a girl and two guys.
I mean, I've never tried, so I really wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But
well, ask yourself, would you be down?
No, I probably wouldn't. But to be fair, I don't think I'd be down for two girls either. Like
that's weird. That's not weird. I mean, it's just
for me, yeah. Well, okay. The way I always describe it is, I'll be willing to try maybe either or if it was a girl who I wasn't super attracted to, right? Or not super attracted to. That's the wrong word. If it was a girl I didn't really care about, like legitimately have feelings for, you know. If it's just a girl that I'm just like, oh, well, you know, I mean, we're just kind of hooking up. We're just whatever, right? Then fine. You know, if you want to have a threesome, I guess maybe we try it. As long as we're all safe and whatever about it, sure, okay. But if it's someone like my girlfriend or like a legitimate someone I really care about, I don't think I could with either because I'd be I think I honestly, I'd probably get a little insecure maybe, and B, I'll just be like, I don't want to. It'll be hard for me to see the girl I care about like
Get fucked
fucking
by
someone
another
else or another
It's
dude or
kinda
girl.
hot. I mean,
In the moment, who knows? Maybe in the moment I'll be like, yeah, okay, but like, I don't know. Right now, it seems like I'm just kind of like, no, I don't know. Just kind of, I'll probably just be selfish about it, I guess. But I stand on both sides. You know, it's not like I'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
2 girls and not too good. No, I'll be
Yeah.
like either or. It's
That's
just like
fair.
nah. But
well, that took a turn for the
weird.
the weird.
But yeah, I mean, I know the other episodes we kind of had like a point to the. There's no point to this. It was just kind of we just wanted to talk about Tinder and weird stuff that's happened. That's it.
I'll probably hop back on. I'll hop back on eventually. I'm just not too excited about it.
You shouldn't be.
Currently.
The climate right now, it's very strange. It's weird. Like it's. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, you get on there, you look for guys, maybe it'll work out fine. But me right now looking for girls, I'm getting matches and I'm talking to them, but nothing's like materializing. And I'm like, I don't. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the minority and I just don't know. Right? Like maybe a lot of people are like, common sense. I don't want to meet up with a stranger. What kind of weird stuff is that? You know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't see a point in talking to any of these people.
Have you ever done the
if
friends?
we're not going to meet
Is
up?
that still a thing on Tinder
What?
where you can like meet up with like a friend group?
Yes, that's still a thing. I've never tried it.
We should do that.
You think we should?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, sure thing.
We have a few friends.
Do we? I'm just kidding. It's so serious.
Oh wait, do we all have to be single?
From what I can tell, it's just a thing that says just friends. Like it doesn't say anything about.
Well, yeah,
like,
we should do that. That'd be interesting.
just-
Man, we should arrange that sometime this week. We'll come back on the next episode and talk about it.
or how we didn't do it.
Or how we didn't do it, how we
Yep.
all pussied out, I guess. Okay. Just
But-
wanted to remind you guys to watch out for Monday's episode next Monday if you're listening to this one.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, point of the story is yes,
We post on Mondays.
We post on Mondays, yes. And just reminder, in case you missed it the first time, iTunes, Spotify. I forgot for a second. We just did iTunes and Spotify. These don't get degrees. Also on YouTube. No more SoundCloud. Sorry for anybody who's listening on SoundCloud. It's just not a thing right now.
Yeah.
No more SoundCloud.
Yeah, and feel free to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at DS Degrees.
For sure.
We'll be more active on there. We promise. We've been slacking.
Yeah. But actually gonna step it up though, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, I mean, I feel weird just saying it, but
Subscribe.
Yeah, no, seriously, gotta. I mean, yeah, you know.
Please.
No, yeah, subscribe. Keep up with us on a regular weekly basis.
Subscribe and then. Never mind. I was gonna make an inappropriate comment.
We actually trying to get subs here, and you scaring away the fan
I
base.
know. No, just subscribe.
Subscribe.
Be a nice person.
Also like the video, you know, if you feel like.
Oh yeah, I like the video.
That's the thing too.
Oh,
the
and
likes.
if you're on iTunes, if you're listening on iTunes, go ahead and leave us a rating. Only if it's 5 stars. If you're gonna rate us anything other than that, keep it. We don't need it.
Keep that. We don't
You know
need
what? If you want to rate us lower than 5 on iTunes, write me an email.
I mean, you play.
Write me a fucking email so I can
And
spam that shit.
Give me a 3-page essay on why you think we're
Yeah,
less than a 5.
tell me how to improve this, buddy. That's free. Yeah, because I'm a working class bitch. Like, don't hit me with, get better microphones. I want to see a video thing. No. Hit me with like real ways for me to do it.
Constructive criticism.
And only on email. Don't you dare fucking leave a comment anywhere.
Oh, you know.
Nothing publicly. I don't want to. I don't want to see it anywhere
I feel
on
like
my timeline.
you are opening Pandora's box right here.
Bring it. Two can play dirty, B. I'll reply. Don't think I won't. Have them notifications for my email turned on.
Okay, but yeah, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, D's Don't Get Degrees, Instagram, Twitter at DS Degrees. Hit us up in our DMs on social media or leave a comment on YouTube, anything like that.
Yeah, leave comments on YouTube.
Yeah, we got a few
I'm loving
already.
reading them.
It's
There's only a
pretty
few,
fun.
but they're so cute.
It's fun, and yeah, it is cute. I mean, I guess I'll take the
Do you
time
want
to
to shout
say
out
this.
anybody?
No, I was just gonna say.
I just want Tamara to know that I love her with all my heart.
Oh
I would
my
take a bullet for her.
God.
I think she's the most beautiful person in this world. I would die for you. I want everyone to know it.
Okay, and
This
I
is
was
a message to God.
And I was just gonna say, thanks to everybody who's been listening and rocking up with us so far. You know, listening and commenting, liking. I've gotten a few messages directly to my social media about it. Just for all the support, basically. You know, thanks for all the support. This has been fun so far. Hopefully we can keep it going if we can get more people involved. But that brings us to the last thing, promise. Share it. More importantly than anything else, share it. Like, if you legit like what we're doing, share it with people, spread it out on your social media, or just tell your friends who you pretend to like at work about it, like whoever. Just spread it around, spread the love, let everybody hear us.
Yeah, we know it was a long one, guys, but thank you for sticking with us.
Yep, absolutely. And we will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Same place, same time probably, or at least the same day. We'll see.
Yep.
But this has been Dominic.
This has been Jessica.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.